And joining us now from Irvine is terrorism and hate crime expert Brian Levin.
He's a professor at Cal State San Bernardino, and we understand you have new information about the suspect, Omar Mateen.
Yes, he's apparently, and this is unconfirmed, but apparently born in New York, 1986. There are also reports that he may be married. American citizen, no criminal record, and it appears that what is at least getting out there now is he might have been radicalized here in the United States.
Now, with this nightclub still being a crime scene, can you talk to us about how police and the FBI go about their investigation this morning?
Great question. Look, when they say it's a terrorism case and then they point it towards what the FBI calls international terrorism, interestingly enough, even if someone is completely homegrown and has never been overseas but is acting on, for instance, Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula or ISIS, on their literature, even if they're inspired, it's considered international terrorism under the FBI rules. What happens then is FBI is the lead agency, and they will coordinate with all the local agencies. They will also coordinate with far-flung agencies. For instance, he's from Port St. Lucie, Florida. There are going to be warrants being executed almost immediately. They're going to secure crime scenes, and they're going to scrub everything from his phone, internet, computer, vehicle, and they're also going to try and make sure that nothing's been booby-trapped. But it appears that this is the kind of lone wolf Salafist jihadist that I'd warned about for Congress back in the fall. And what this does is this will make this the worst, if true, if confirmed, and it appears that it is, the worst post-9/11 terrorist attack by fatalities. And what it also does is it clearly makes Salafist jihadists the #1 motivation with regard to fatal terrorist attacks, fatal homicides in terrorist attacks, about 70 now since 9/11. So this is a significant event, and unfortunately it actually goes over the attack in San Bernardino, which previously, where we had 14 of our souls murdered, as the worst post-9/11 terrorist attack. But this is exactly what Daesh or ISIS or Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula tries to do. And they say, attack, here in America. You don't have to even coordinate with us. So let's see how far this goes. It appears to be a lone wolf at this time. The Bureau and other law enforcement is going to try to establish that if there was anyone involved in the conspiracy, but it appears that he was the lone gunman at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida.
And Brian, so quickly it came out as an act of terrorism as opposed to a hate crime. We understand that this was a gay club that the shooting happened in.
Yes, and under federal law, the FBI has jurisdiction either way. When there's violence being used on the basis of sexual orientation, actual or perceived, United States Code 18 U.S.C. 249 makes it a hate crime. But I'm going to tell you something. When something's a possible hate crime, but it also has this international component, that could be even inspiration, it's going to be handled primarily as a terrorism case, which will mean that the FBI will be the lead agency. They will determine when local authorities can get access, but they work as part of joint terrorism task forces. So there's the Orange County Sheriff's in Florida, as well as local PD, working in coordination with the FBI, who will be working to execute warrants. One more thing, NYPD said they're going to offer all their cooperation because he apparently was born in New York, an American citizen, back in 1986. So you're going to see a variety of agencies, including federal, FBI being the lead, but you'll also have folks like DHS, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, as well as the local authorities. And they're going to try and see if there's any additional thread that may extend overseas that we don't know about, and also if there are any co-conspirators here in the United States. Right now, the most apparent explanation is that this is a Salafist jihadist lone wolf inspired by the literature of groups like Daesh, ISIS, or Al-Qaeda, both of whom have come out with their own magazines in recent weeks. But the pattern that we've been seeing are people who've been inspired by these groups rather than orchestrated and directed by them. But everything's going to be on the table. The Bureau will be looking at this. They're currently looking at about 800 to 900 ISIS-type or Salafist jihadist-type investigations nationwide in all 50 states.